The night, the car flipped and the flames roared. Renji Tanaka lost more than a race.
Sayaka, forgive me. I will drag them all to hell.
Before the wreckage, there had been sunsets and a promise he swore to keep. But while Renji's world burned, Kaito Takahashi stood on podiums, collecting trophies bought with betrayal. A decade later, a man called Hiro arrived at the underground circuit. His car was blacker than a grudge.
You won't know my face, but you'll feel my shadow breathing down your neck.
Kaito watched from the VIP lounge. The angle of that drift, the late braking, it pricked something cold in his chest. Kaito snapped his fingers. Investigate that driver, now. The assistant scurried away.
Could it be? No, he's dead. I made sure of it.
The engines roared. 10 years of patience ignited in a single throttle blip. The revenge had finally started. After the first heat, the black car was towed into the repair bay, smoke curling from its hood.
That engine's crying. Whoever tuned it wanted you dead, not fast.
Who are you? This is a private bay.
Someone who knows a damaged intercooler isn't bad luck. It's a message.
I don't need a lecture. I need a mechanic who doesn't ask questions.
Then you need me. I can fix it in an hour, but you'll owe me an answer.
She's sharp. Too sharp. But if she can keep the car running...
Your throttle technique. I've only seen one racer break that late. He died 10 years ago.
I don't know what you are talking about. Fix the car or get out.
Yui smiled, picking up a wrench. She had found her entry point. And the man called Hiro had just gained an ally he didn't ask for. 10 years ago, the air in the garage was thick with promise and poison.
You think that scrap heap can beat my machine, Tanaka? You are dreaming. The only thing holding me back is your mouth, Kaito. On the track, there's no contest.
But Kaito's smile vanished the moment he turned his back. Jealousy had curdled into something darker. Later that night, after the mechanics had gone, a shadow slipped past the security lights.
One small adjustment, enough to turn a victory into a funeral.
The morning of the race, Sayaka pinned a sunflower in her hair and kissed Ren's cheek.
Just come back to me, Renji. That's the only win I care about.
Before the race, Kaito met a man whose face the cameras would never catch. An envelope changed hands, and when the green flag dropped, the trap was already set. The crash would take everything, but not before a promise was broken first. The underground circuit roared back to life. The black car moved through the pack like a blade, relentless and precise.
Every corner is a countdown. Every straight is a step closer to his panic.
That line? I've seen that line before. Only one man drove that way, and he's supposed to be ashes.
Hiro crossed the finish line first, smoke rising from the tires, as if the track itself was burning from the raw pace.
I want everything on him. Childhood, racing records, dental files. Leave no stone unturned. If this is a ghost, I'll bury him again.
In the pits, Yui tightened the last bolt and tapped the fender. The engine sang a cleaner note now.
It's holding. Good work.
But Kaito's investigator was already feeding names into a database, hunting for cracks in a past that didn't exist. The first round was won, but the real battle had just begun. In the shadows where records could be rewritten or erased. In the trailer she used as a workshop, Yui scrolled through years of archived news reports. One headline stopped her cold.
Renji Tanaka. Fatal crash ruled a mechanical failure. A photo of the wreck. That's the sunflower hairpin Sayaka always wore. Hiro, that's not your real name. I found the article. You are Renji Tanaka.
Where did you get that? Give me the phone.
I won't give it to anyone, but I need to know. Was she the reason you disappeared?
Yes. I lost everything that night. My career, my future, and the only woman I ever loved.
And Kaito Takahashi. Did he have something to do with it?
Don't say that name. You don't understand what you are stepping into.
I am already stepping. I am your mechanic. Your secrets are safe with me.
The alliance had been forced into light, fragile as a cracked cylinder head, but for now, the engine held. The investigator's report was damning in its emptiness. No birth certificate, no racing license older than 6 months.
So the ghost built a paper wall. But paper burns easily.
That night, after another qualifying heat, Kaito descended from his VIP perch straight to the pit lane. He found the black car still ticking with heat, the driver wiping his helmet in silence.
Impressive line through the chicane. It reminded me of a racer I knew 10 years ago.
I don't care who you knew. I am here to race.
No need to be hostile. I am just a fan of good driving.
Kaito's smile didn't reach his eyes. He walked away as if he had already won.
The net is closing. I'll force the truth out of him on the track.
From that moment, the tournament was no longer a competition. It was a countdown to a collision. 2 days before the semifinal, Yui shuffled into the garage carrying her father's battered laptop, its fan whirring like a dying engine.
I fixed this thing a month ago. I didn't look deep until now. There's encrypted financial data from 10 years back.
The screen flickered with rows of partial transaction codes, many of them referencing race dates and vehicle IDs.
That reference number, that was my old team's internal coding system. No one outside would use it.
So it wasn't just Kaito. Someone inside your crew was feeding info.
This proves it was more than a single act of sabotage. But we can't open the full file without the encryption key.
My father disappeared right after the crash. What if he was involved?
Then we find him. Or we find someone who can crack this. One way or another, the truth dies with no one.
For 10 years, I thought he abandoned us. Now I might wish he had.
The encrypted file became a fuse, and the clock was ticking until it reached the powder keg. They tracked down a former crewman who lived in a rust-eaten apartment block on the city's fringe. The man's eyes darted like a cornered animal. He recognized the ghost in the doorway instantly.
Takeo. I need to know what happened to Hiroshi after the crash.
Trembling, he slid a creased photo across the table. Kaito and Hiroshi, mid-argument near the garage, the morning of the race.
That's my father.
Oji-san was his mentor. He never mentioned knowing Kaito.
What were they arguing about? What secret was worth disappearing for?
The contact's answer came in a whisper. He said the race had to be stopped. Kaito made a deal with someone far worse.
Give us a name. Who did Kaito make a deal with?
The man shook his head, retreating into silence. The only clue was a name he refused to repeat, a name that made him tremble. The morning news ran clips of Hiro's victory, with a sharper edge. Kaito saw an opportunity to clip the Phantom's wings.
Rumors of illegal modifications have reached me. The officials should inspect that car before a tragedy.
By noon, the disqualification came down like a guillotine. Car 7 suspended pending investigation.
He's trying to bury me before I get close. I won't let him.
That's what he wants. But the rulebook has an appeal process. We fight with evidence, not anger.
Through the night, Yui combed regulations, finding a clause requiring physical inspection before disqualification. They submitted an appeal at dawn, arguing the car was impounded without proper inspection. Kaito watched the appeal with a thin smile. Delays bought time to erase loose ends. The commission scheduled a hearing in 3 days. Ren's car sat in impound, gathering dust and doubt. Delay favored Kaito, but Ren knew patience could be a weapon. The appeals board convened in the gray light of morning, the sound of shuffling papers louder than engines. The ruling: insufficient evidence to uphold disqualification. Driver Hiro is reinstated.
We are back in. I told you the rulebook was a weapon.
Now, the real race begins. No more masks.
From the gallery above, Kaito watched his expression unreadable, but his fingers drumming a slow rhythm.
As expected, a ghost is hard to kill. Let's see how it handles the final turn.
That night, the tournament board posted the final qualifying brackets. The names lit up under neon: Hiro versus Takahashi.
10 years of patience, and the finish line is finally in sight.
Kaito's car was already being polished to a mirror shine. every reflection hiding a crack. The countdown resumed. Tomorrow, Revenge would wear a helmet and speak in revs. The night before the race, Yui's laptop finally cracked the encryption. The garage fell dead silent.
It's a video file, dated the night of the crash.
Ren clicked play. Grainy footage showed a shadowy garage, two figures exchanging a thick envelope. Then, a voice. Make sure Tanaka's brakes fail on turn 7. No survivors. It was Kaito.
Number. The man he's paying. That's my father.
The man who taught me everything. He was the one who killed her.
The video continued. Hiroshi's hands trembled as he took the money. Then he looked directly at the camera, mouthing, "Forgive me."
He didn't want to do it. Kaito must have threatened him.
He still chose to do it. Sayaka paid the price.
Yui stumbled back, her world crumbling. Without another word, she fled into the rain. Ren stood motionless, the video looping on screen. Revenge had a new face, and it looked like the woman who had fixed more than his engine. By morning, the garage was a hollow shell. Rain had soaked the floor, and a single note clung to the workbench. The note read, "I found an address. I have to face him alone. Don't follow."
She's walking into a hornet's nest. I won't let her carry this alone.
The engine roared through the night, headlights cutting across desolate roads. The address led to a district the city had forgotten. A rusted workshop huddled under corrugated sheets, a single light flickering inside like a heartbeat. Ren pushed the door open. Under the sputtering bulb, a frail old man sat in an oil-stained chair, Yui standing before him.
Dad, tell me the truth. Did you kill that girl for money?
Yui, I never wanted. They said they'd hurt you. I only tampered with the brake line a little. Not enough to...
The old man's voice cracked. Before he could finish, a shadow moved at the door. Ren stepped into the pale light.
Then explain it to me, Hiroshi. Explain why Sayaka had to die.
Renji, you survived. I've waited 10 years to tell you the truth. It wasn't just Kaito. He answers to someone far more dangerous. Kaito said if I didn't help, he'd make Yui disappear. I only loosened a single brake cable. I thought you'd spin out, not crash.
The damage wasn't a spin-out. It was a total brake failure. Sayaka died in flames.
Someone else must have tampered further. Kaito never played fair. I have proof of the entire syndicate. Here, every race fix, every bribe, every threat, it's all on this. You can bury him legally.
Ren took the card, a thin piece of plastic that held a decade of crimes, but his grip tightened into a fist.
Renji, if you take this to the police, Kaito loses everything. Revenge doesn't have to mean blood.
The law. 10 years, I've burned for a different kind of justice.
The man Kaito answers to. He'll destroy anyone who threatens his empire. But he owns the police too.
The key card felt heavier now. Evidence that could be buried, or a weapon that could be wielded on the track.
Please, don't let Kaito turn you into him.
Ren looked at the key card, then at the racing suit hanging in the workshop corner. Two paths, one finish line. The workshop fell silent. Ren pocketed the key card and helped Yui to her feet, leaving the old man in the shadows. By the time they reached the garage, the sun was rising. The air felt charged, as if the day itself was holding its breath.
I'll prep the car. Whatever you decide, track or courtroom, I am with you.
But before she could reach the car, a van screeched to a halt. Two men grabbed her, a chloroform-soaked cloth muffling her scream.
Yui, get your hands off her.
The van sped away, leaving only a burner phone on the ground. It rang instantly.
Hello, Ghost. I have your mechanic. Throw the race, or she'll be a statistic like Sayaka.
If you hurt her, I'll dismantle your empire piece by piece.
Temper, temper. Finish line is in 3 hours. Make sure you don't cross it first.
The call ended. Ren stood paralyzed between two fires, the track and the kidnapper. One finish line, two different meanings. Ren's hands moved mechanically, dialing a number from memory. A street racer he'd once saved.
Track a van. Plate KAI 1-7-4. They took Yui. I need a location.
On the other end, a keyboard clacked. The racer slid through the city's traffic cams like a ghost. A message flashed on Ren's phone. Warehouse 17, Dock District. Multiple armed, can't handle alone. Hurry. Ren stared at the text, then at the black car gleaming under the garage lights. The starting grid was calling.
I'll run the first laps. Keep Kaito guessing. Then I slip away. Hang on, Yui.
He slid into the cockpit, the engine's roar a temporary anchor. The green flag waited, but his heart was already elsewhere. Kaito's silver car glided to the pole position. Through the visor, Ren could feel the smirk.
You think you've won, but I am playing a different game now.
The engines revved in unison. Ren's fingers brushed the phone in his pocket, a lifeline to another race. The lights blinked out, and the pack surged forward. Ren's black car cut through the first corner with surgical precision. By lap 3, he was leading, but the silver car was closing, flanked by 2 dark sedans. One sedan sideswiped him, metal shrieking. Ren fought the wheel, keeping the car on track. In the chaos, his phone vibrated. A single line, Warehouse 7, hurry.
They're making her suffer while I chase a trophy. No more.
He feigned a steering failure, veering hard into the barrier. The black car crumpled, smoke pouring. Kaito's silver car sped past, the smirk visible even through the helmet. Ren punched the harness release, kicked open the door, and ran into the shadows of the paddock. The crowd's roar faded behind him. The only sound now was his pulse and the distant echo of sirens. He vanished into the night, leaving the wreckage and his revenge on the track. Ren found the warehouse, its rusted doors ajar. The van that took Yui sat silent inside. Creeping closer, he heard a kidnapper's voice. Kaito's orders: kill them both when the race ends. The kidnapper laughed, unaware of the shadow behind him. Ren's fist silenced the laugh. Within seconds, the kidnapper was pinned, a wrench pressed to his throat. Yui, bound to a chair, gasped as Ren tore her ropes free.
I knew you'd come. I knew it.
Ren grabbed the kidnapper's phone. A message chain glowed on the screen. The final text from Kaito: dispose of them after the race. No loose ends.
He was going to kill us anyway. This is our proof.
Ren pocketed the evidence. His car was wrecked, his victory stolen. But he had a new weapon. Ren and Yui sped back in a commandeered car, the engine screaming through the night. The tournament site glittered with lights. On stage, the trophy gleamed beside Kaito's smug face.
Thank you, my loyal fans. Victory tastes sweeter when it's earned, again and again.
Through the crowd, a bruised figure pushed forward, ignoring the gasps and stares.
Your trophy is stolen, Kaito, and I am here to reclaim what's mine.
Before security could react, Ren vaulted onto the stage and snatched the microphone.
The victory lap is over. Let's tell these people who you really are.
The crowd fell silent, 1,000 faces waiting. Kaito's smirk cracked into a nervous twitch.
You are insane. You crashed out. Security. Get this imposter off the stage.
Ren reached into his pocket. The phone glowed like a loaded gun. The countdown had finally hit 0.
My name is Renji Tanaka, and this man ordered my murder 10 years ago.
The crowd inhaled a collective gasp. The name Renji Tanaka was a ghost story whispered in garages. Ren raised the phone, tapping the screen. Kaito's voice roared from the venue's speakers. Dispose of them after the race. No loose ends. The words repeated, each syllable a nail in Kaito's coffin. Kaito's face drained of color. His smile, so practiced, crumbled into unmasked terror. Voices rose from the crowd. The crash wasn't an accident. He sabotaged Tanaka. The story was unraveling live.
That's fabricated. He's framing me. This is a jealous nobody's revenge.
Fabricated. I have a decade of your race-fixing syndicate right here. Every bribe, every threat.
Kaito's eyes darted for an exit, but the crowd had become a wall. The empire he built was collapsing with every breath. The stage was set for a reckoning. But Kaito wasn't finished yet. His hand slid toward his pocket. From his pocket, Kaito pulled a compact pistol, the barrel glinting under the stage lights. The crowd screamed, scrambling backward. Ren didn't flinch. Before Kaito could aim, Ren lunged, twisting the gun from his grip in a single brutal motion.
I could end it now. 1 bullet for 10 years, but that won't bring her back.
Instead, he thrust the phone into Kaito's face, the live stream still broadcasting.
All right, I did it. I sabotaged the car. I killed her.
The confession poured out, naming every accomplice, every rigged race. The syndicate crumbled in real time. In the distance, sirens wailed. The law was finally catching up. Ren stood over the broken champion, the gun hanging limply in his hand. Revenge had been within a trigger pull, but he chose the truth. The police cuffed Kaito and led him away. The crowd's anger turned to a murmur of disbelief. Reporters thrust microphones at Ren, shouting questions. He pushed past them, disappearing into the night. He didn't stop until he reached the old pier, the same wooden planks where he and Sayaka had once watched sunsets. He sat at the edge, staring at the water. The wind carried the scent of salt and memory. A pair of worn sneakers appeared beside him. Yui lowered herself down without a word. She didn't speak. She just sat there, her shoulder almost touching his. Ren's eyes glistened. A single tear traced the white streak in his hair. For the first time in a decade, it wasn't from rage. He turned to her, a faint, fragile smile breaking his stoic mask. Yui smiled back, her eyes also wet. She understood. The sun broke through the clouds. Some races don't end with a trophy. They end with a breath. A week later, the city had moved on, but Ren carried a small velvet box to a quiet place he hadn't visited in 10 years. He knelt before a simple grave marker. Sayaka's name was etched into the stone, surrounded by fresh lilies. He opened the box. Inside lay the sunflower hairpin, repaired, its golden petals gleaming like new.
I kept our promise, Sayaka. I didn't forget. I hope. You can rest now.
He placed the hairpin at the base of the stone next to the lilies. The wind stirred the petals. A shadow fell over him. Yui stood a few steps back, her hands clasped, waiting. He rose, turning to her. She didn't need to speak. Her eyes said she understood. She reached out, her hand brushing his. He didn't pull away. They walked together under the cherry trees, leaving the grave behind. The future was unwritten, but no longer haunted. Renji Tanaka had lost everything in one race. He spent 10 years building revenge, but what he found was something else entirely.